hermits find fullness in seclusion if it wasn't something to be found within? How did they reach enlightenment in seclusion, in silence, if it wasn't part of the process? Of course, you don't need to seclude yourself anymore, but you do need silence still. In silence, you can hear the voice within. In silence, you can feel the world within. You can hear your own thoughts, you can be aware of your own emotions, and you can observe yourself without any outside influence telling you what it means. How did the hermits feel fullness in a cave, unless that fullness was already within? The doing gets you going in the world you live in, while simultaneously it keeps you distracted from the world within you, the real world that is already full. When we say you are extracting those states and qualities from within you, it is because they are already there, independent of the outside events and circumstances, and it is up to you to reach inward and extract them out. You can be at peace no matter what's going on, because you are at peace with you. You can be in love no matter who is there or not, because you are in love with you. You can be in joy whether something is happening or not, whether you are doing something or not, because you feel the joy from within yourself, the joy of being one with Source, the joy of being home. How did the hermits do it back then? They realized everything they are looking for on the outside already existed on the inside, and they withdrew from the world, from the outside, in order to find what they seek within. And when they did, they were a changed person, because they became the master they realized they are. You all can do this. Mastery is not reserved for a select few. The only reason ascended masters and enlightened beings walked amongst you is to show you what is possible, not to tell you they are the exception. You will become the master yourself once you detach from everything outside of you, and no longer give meaning to anything outside of you, as being more powerful than you, more valuable than you. When you finally realize you are the source of all your experiences, and you are the source of all that you feel, and all you create in mind, then you realize you have the keys to the kingdom. That you can create whatever you desire without moving from where you are. That you can create any experience without anything happening or changing on the outside. That you can travel to far distant lands without leaving your couch. And we are not talking about some virtual reality game that you plug into, but the vast spaces within yourself, the infinite capabilities of your own mind. For remember, that mind is connected to universal mind as much as it is connected to any other mind on your planet. You can call it the collective consciousness and the universal consciousness which contains all consciousness. When you tap into the storehouse of infinite consciousness, you can see what your eyes cannot see. You have access to knowledge that your fellow men don't. You have access to information that the world around you cannot provide. How did the hermits do it? They withdrew their attention from the world outside and delved into the world within, the world of creation within. You always create from within, never from without. They turned within to the source of their creations, their experiences. They turned within to the well within themselves of infinite riches, far beyond any riches they could find on earth. And it is a beautiful time on your planet, because having access to these states and emotions within yourself is now easier. For despite all the distractions, the energies coming in are supportive of you. There is an outpouring of energy coming to your planet from every angle at this moment, all for your upliftment, for your elevation, and these energies touch you without you even knowing. They come from everywhere, from your earth, from your animals, from your planet life, even within the air you breathe. Your evolution and transformation is being facilitated by higher beings offering you their light and love through these energies. Love and light that you can't help but feel at some point no matter what you are going through. And so there is hope, because you are receiving, and you are changing, and luckily for you, you don't have to retire to a cave. But you have to allow yourself some moments of silence, during which you open to receive more than what you can ask for, because we see you from a different perspective, and know what you need at a deeper level, at an energetic level, and we are all delivering to you one by one, wherever you are, in sleep and in wakefulness. So be ready for more, because more is the mantra of this universe. More and more and more. It is infinite. So enjoy the ride. Channel, Nadina Bone. Imagining forms and visions brings them into our reality, not necessarily in the forms we imagine, but in the vibratory resonance of how we feel within ourselves. We can direct our thoughts and feelings to whatever we desire. By aligning with our desired polarity and frequency, we establish our energetic signature and broadcast its vibrations into the quantum field to attract resonating energies into our experience. In absolute confidence and knowing, we can move through life with the energetic expression of gratitude, love, compassion, and joy. Anything that interrupts this state of being is caused by a limiting belief about ourselves. We have been able to believe only what we have experienced as humans. It is our beliefs that limit us. Without beliefs, we can realize our presence of awareness beyond time and space. Pervading infinite consciousness, our awareness is unlimited, when we realize that it is. Toward this goal, we can progress by examining and resolving our limiting beliefs and opening ourselves to an unknown realm of experience that seems impossible for ego consciousness. We can sense when we are experiencing positive and negative energies. Regardless of what kind of energy we encounter, we can direct our own state of being to vibrate in resonance with our essence beyond time and space. This is the heart of our being, and it comes into our awareness intuitively, when we align with the resonance of our heart. We can realize that the overpowering expression within universal consciousness is life creation and enhancement in unconditional love. As we learn to transcend our limitations by inviting the feelings of joy and abundance to fill our awareness, we find that life happens with ease, regardless of apparent encounters and experiences. As long as we hold our awareness on the energies of our heart, we can move through life while radiating powerful life-enhancing thoughts and feelings. These pervade the consciousness of humanity, vibrating in dissonance to negativity, destabilizing and dissolving it or transforming it. Only when we can live beyond our limitations, can we know our true self. When we empower ourselves with confidence and love, we can be creative in ways that we want. We can come into realization of our infinite magnificence beyond any limiting beliefs. We can practice expressing ourselves in ways that we deeply desire for the enjoyment of all within our awareness. By Kenneth Schmidt. The One is a seed of life and the source of all. It is the original I Am. It is Creator. It is God. But as the one seed, it could not have an experience of itself with no mirror or reflection to see itself. So, the seed sprouted into a small, tender, fragile sapling as a great experiment to explore itself. It began to grow, building a strong, wide trunk that connected all life back to the One. Underneath this tree, it also grew deep roots in the soil of creation, creating a mirror opposite of what was growing above. This created what we know today as duality, which is still a part of the One. Large branches began to grow from the trunk, and secondary branches sprouted out from the main branches, and then little individual twigs grew from the secondary branches. It continued growing very far and away from the seed of oneness of the Creator so as to explore all the different ways creation could be possible. Then leaves grew on the twigs of the tree of life, and it was beautiful. Then time passed, and fruit on the tree of life began to grow. When the fruit ripened, it grew heavy, and it fell to the earth, and they became the many new seeds of oneness. This began the great ages, great cycles, and seasons. These new seeds were a part of the oneness. These many seeds also began to sprout and began the process all over again, but also became once removed from the one creation. After a few ages passed, the One that resides in all living things forgot it was the One, as it could only see the age it was living in, with all the different trees, roots, branches, and fruits of truth. They forgot they all were actually the One. But all the way back to the beginning, the original Great One knew there was still a spark of the One Source in all creation, no matter how many trees sprouted or how many great ages or seasons would pass. The One Source also knew there would come an age, a time, a season, where it would become impossible not to see the great oneness again, all of creation. And when this time comes, all of life will light up with this knowing. And this light will be so glorious. It will be beyond anything we could have imagined before. This is the great return to the oneness of creation and what we are evolving into now. Awakening to oneness. Oneness lives in diversity. Oneness is true freedom. By Aluna Joy.